I feel like I should clarify this before I even start the video. I'm a big fan of Arlo, I'm a big fan of his content, he seems like he is a great person, and this is not a hate video, it's meant to be taken humorously more than anything else. Let's go. I am not Arlo. Every single video, somebody asks me the same question. Are you Arlo? Is this another Arlo account? Oh my god, you sound like Arlo. Yeah, I'm not Arlo, okay? And I have reasons to prove that I am not Arlo, that I have worked very hard on to prove to you guys that I am indeed not Arlo. Because at this point, I think it is an insult towards Arlo to assume that I'm him, and it's hard enough already to make yourself stand out there without people grouping you in with another YouTuber. So I've drawn up a list. These are the 10 reasons to prove to you that I am indeed not Arlo of ArloStuff. First reason, and I'm basing this one off of some of the things I've heard him say in his videos, as well as the timing of when they're published, and especially the types of in-person events that he goes to. I think he's a West Coaster, or at the very least, he's a Pacific time zoner. And I'm not, I'm actually on the opposite side of the country. So very clearly, if I am in the Eastern time zone and he is in the Western time zone, or Pacific rather, then we can obviously not be in two places at once. So if someone was to use their logic a little bit, they would figure out pretty soon on that I am indeed not Arlo, because I am not in the same time zone as Arlo. Reason number 2, and this one is kind of a no-brainer as well, Arlo does not show his face. I don't often show my face, but on occasion, I'll give you guys a look at the goods. Now, if I was Arlo, why would I spend all of this time hiding behind the screen, making sure nobody can see who I am, letting people ponder and ponder upon my true persona, if I was just gonna open a channel that's on the Eastern time zone and then show my face? It makes no sense. Again, logic, people. Number 3, I am not a puppet. Now, I don't mean that offensively, I mean that literally. He is an actual puppet for Nintendo. Or I don't mean it like that, I mean like he's a puppet. This is very hard. My dude literally puts a puppet on the screen and he speaks as if he is this puppet. Or, you know, maybe the puppet is actually Arlo. I don't know his real name. I don't even know if that's public knowledge. But the point is that I am definitely not a puppet. At best, you can say I have this avatar that is just basically a squished Wario, but I'm definitely not a puppet. Which actually leads me into my 4th point. If I was a puppet, I would not be a blue puppet because red is my favorite color. So I never would have ripped off the Cookie Monster. I would have ripped off Elmo. And I think that should be an obvious one for most people. Mario is my favorite franchise, all of my favorite sports teams are red, and I even have a red car, red jacket, and red shoes. Which, again, is just proof that I cannot be Arlo, because if I was Arlo, my car would be blue. Now, the next reason, once again, is a very obvious one. Arlo has quality content. He doesn't cut the same corners that I cut. He doesn't make dumb satirical videos like this one. He has self-respect. He holds his own puppet to a higher standard than I hold myself. He clearly has shame and he cares about his reputation. I am, on the other hand, am just a regular YouTuber yelling into a microphone half the time. And if you watch my content and you watch his content, you would agree with me. My dude just all around has better content. Which is why, going into the next one, I can't get a hold of a sponsorship if my life depends on it. His videos are always sponsored by the best. Actually, I don't know if they're literally the best, but they are brands that would be known to people. I get contacted by Chinese companies asking me to push their bootleg products that they're selling on Amazon. If I was indeed Arlo, you would probably be hearing the regular sponsorships that most famous YouTubers get by now. For obvious reasons, I will not be mentioning them for free. But, you know, Shark, Raycon, Manscaped, all you other guys, if you're listening, reach out to your boy, we'll talk. And in a similar vein, I don't get invited onto anybody else's channel. I don't get collaborations. I'll sometimes have somebody subscribe to me that has over 20,000 subs, and it'll make me get all giddy for a few moments. Arlo doesn't get giddy over little stuff like that. Arlo is so popular that in my introduction, I didn't even have to explain who Arlo was. All of you that are watching this video already know who Arlo is. So clearly, I cannot be Arlo, because I wouldn't be wasting my time on a pointless video like this when I'm as big, popular, and famous as he is, especially in the Nintendo universe. And here's one that might actually shock you. The next way I can prove to you that I am indeed not Arlo. I have never played a Pikmin game. I've always known what Pikmin was. I remember thinking it was very weird when it was released on GameCube, and it was part of the reason why I thought the GameCube was such a weird console. Like, their main Mario game was Mario holding a hose and cleaning an island. Their launch title was Luigi doing Ghostbusters. And then they're all like, oh hey, there's a new first-party IP. It's this. Yeah, I judge this book by its cover. Although I would like to play Pikmin at some point now that I am older and more refined, I just haven't had a chance yet. And if you know Arlo, you know Arlo loves his Pikmin. But me, never played it, and my only experience with anything Pikmin related is for a brief moment in time I mained Captain Olimar on Smash Bros. But I no longer do that. Here's the next one for you. I am not convinced that he likes Sonic. He seems like a typical Sonic YouTuber, like the old school Sonic YouTubers. The ones that like the classics, maybe like the adventure games, and then just don't like anything else following that. He had an almost hour-long review about the Sonic 2 movie that he didn't like, and while I think he might have some affinity towards the Blue Hedgehog, I think the way that we feel about Sonic is drastically different. If anything, I am a closeted Sonic fan that puts on a front as a Nintendo dude, and I realize that I should not be admitting that out loud, but what can I say? I love bad games, and I love cheesy stories, and Sonic gives you both of those. And if I was Arlo, I would not be praising Sonic 06 for 2.5 hours. And finally, perhaps the most obvious reason as to why I cannot be Arlo of ArloStuff, I don't like the route that Nintendo's taking towards the Switch 2. Arlo has made numerous content leading up to the Switch 2, and since the reveal of the Switch 2, that the Switch 2 would just be more of what we got in the Switch 1. And he seemingly doesn't want anything else, which is fine. Many people have that opinion, and I'm not going to say he is incorrect for having that opinion. Just like I don't think anybody else is incorrect for being excited for the Switch 2. But I think it's very clear if you were to look at our channels side by side over the past month that I am definitely not Arlo, because I have done nothing but scrutinize every single detail of the Switch 2. Well, not every single one. I still got more to come. But I have done a lot. I've gotten some things wrong. I may have exaggerated on a few points. Many of you have loved it, and many of you have hated it. Many of you have made it very clear how much you hate it. But as a Nintendo fan, when I see something that I love so dearly turning into the very thing that I despise most, and really making it difficult to separate the plumber from the parasitic corporation, I can't help but feel obligated to create some discussion on the matter and hope that I can turn more and more people away from supporting such terrible business practices. Seriously, I am not exaggerating when I say people are emailing me thanking me for stopping them from buying the Switch 2, because after they saw one of my videos, they started doing more research and they came to their own conclusions. This is something that makes me very happy, because we, as a purchasing society, should stop shrugging everything off and assuming that everything has to be the way it is because that's the way it is. Many of you may view my videos as negative and doom and gloom, but I have never felt more positive about my videos since I started my channel, because I feel like these videos are actually relevant to real life and they have a net positive impact on society. Hopefully. I say hopefully because a lot of times the comment sections get disgusting. But it is what it is, and ultimately, that's proof that I am not Arlo. Now, Arlo has made a lot of criticisms of Nintendo, and I say this as somebody that genuinely enjoys his content and have always enjoyed his content. But his complaints are more along the lines of something like whining that when they brought Balloon Battle into Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, they forced the game mode to have a time limit instead of just being based off of lives or stock. And then he went on and spoke about how his amazing memories of playing in Block Fort with his 3 other friends, just being a one-on-one with the last man standing, was proof that Nintendo was losing their way. And that's just not the way that I criticize Nintendo. I'm more disturbed by the fact that they're saying that you don't even own the actual console you purchase from them. You know, the childish stuff that nobody really wants to hear. In any case, I gave you all of those reasons as to why I am not Arlo, and I think it is offensive to Arlo himself that you would even guess that I might be him. So please, for Arlo's sake, don't let this get bigger than it actually is, because I am Nintendine, not Arlo. Now that being said, Arlo, if you're watching this and you would like to have me on your channel, please do reach out, because I can't figure out how to get a hold of you. And I don't know if there's a better way to prove that I am not you if I don't sit next to you and prove to everybody that I am not you. Thank you all for listening, and I hope you will stop saying that I am Arlo. Seriously though, Arlo, if you're listening, reach out.